Hey friends, it's me, Miss Fisher again. So today we're working on Unit 5, Lesson 2. And in Lesson 2, we're backing away from factors. So we just, in Lesson 1, learned about factors and creating a factor list. And Lesson 2 asks you to calculate the area of a rectangle and a square. Um, the formula for calculating the area of a rectangle and a square is base times height. I do want to bring us over just to this side of the screen a little bit. So I know in the younger grades, the way you would write multiplication is usually with a times sign. So you're probably used to seeing a formula that looks something like this. You're not going to see Miss Fisher do that, okay? So we're now in high school and we need to move past what we learned in the lower grades. And the reason why I'm going to write it the way you see it in high school and the other classes is because when you take your Keystone exams, your biology or your algebra, you are pre-given formula sheets. We don't expect you to memorize formulas. And on those formula sheets, they are not written multiplication is not written as an X. Main reason is because X is a variable we use in almost all of our equations, so that can be confusing. And we'll talk about that when we get more into algebra. But how we write multiplication is it could be two variables, a variable, the letters, two variables side by side. It could be with parentheses, so it could be written as area equals base parenthesis times height. Okay, that means multiplication. Or the last way you'll see it written is area equals base, and the dot means multiplication. Base times height. That is how you will see me write multiplication. Okay, so you do have to familiarize yourself with that. Okay, just giving you the heads up. Now, with that said, so here we have an array I drew. If you remember from lesson 1, so we have rows go left to right and columns go up and down. Okay, so we can see our column is 2 units. I'm going to make the unit inches, so we're going to say 2 inches. And I see my row is 3 inches. Okay, so let's just start there. Now, we can tell right away it's a rectangle, not a square. How do I know that? Because there's a 2 and a 3. If it was a square, they would both have to be 2 or they both have to be 3. The biggest difference between a square and a rectangle is a square has all equal sides. Okay, so for instance, if you were given a word problem and it just had that, okay, and it said calculate the area, you could calculate the area because this symbol lets you know that's telling you that every side is equal to 2, right? So if it shows you like that, so say it did something like this. I should have done that, sorry. I apologize. So if you see that, that's saying this side's equal to this side, equal to this side, equal to that side. So I know that this is a square. Every side is 2. Every side is equal. Okay, that's letting you know the symmetry. So now I know this is a rectangle because the two sides are not equal. And a rectangle, how it works is the opposites equal. So if this is 2 inches, then this must be 2 inches. If this is 3 inches, then this must be 3 inches. Okay. But now what we know, I don't even need that. But what we do know is the area of a rectangle is base times height. So base, I try to remember, again, you don't have to memorize the formula. It's good if you know the formula, you can do things a lot quicker. So I try to find easy ways to remember things. So base, I think bottom, B for bottom, B for base. So that's how I remember this is my base, bottom, like the bottom of a floor. So 3 times 2. Okay, so 3 times 2. And just for now, I didn't put the units. 3 times 2 is 6. I know my units is inches. Now, this is the important part. I'm doing something times itself. Inches times inches. So it's squared. Okay. In elementary school, you learned 2 times 2 equals 4. But you also learned this, 2 squared. And why was it squared? Because it was a number multiplied by itself. Okay. So inches, you're multiplying it by itself, so it turns into squared. Okay. So it is 6 inches squared. It's really important that you keep those units. I do count units on exams and quizzes, so you really want to be sure, double check your units. Area, it's always, whatever the unit is, it's always squared. Perimeter, it would just be inches because you're adding up all the sides, you're not multiplying it. Um, but this is lesson 2. It's just calculating the area of both a rectangle and a square, and it's the same exact formula for both a rectangle and square. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me at any time. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.